Okay, there we go. There we go. Hey, Dr. Brody.
Hey, thanks for having me
Oh,
on.
oh no, thanks for making the time. I really appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
I can. I noticed a little bit of a lag before, but it seems to be ironed out.
Okay, good. I can hear you perfectly, so that's good. There's a little bit
Fantastic.
of there's a little bit of background noise, so bear with me. I'll try to put it on mute or something. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm glad we connected. Let me just introduce you. So, Dr. Brody Miller is a leader in brain health research and therapy. He has lived through many years of his own personal struggles with brain health and now helps people worldwide to overcome brain dysfunction and unleash their cognitive potential naturally. So, please welcome Dr. Brody Miller.
Thanks. It's so great to be here.
And thank you so much. Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if you wanted to just talk about anything in specific regarding brain health, or I have some questions that I can ask you as well. So it's up to you.
Sure. Yeah, just to start, I just want people to know my main message is that you can get better. Like you don't have to be stuck to the paradigm that most doctors tell you. Because when you look at a very deep level, I was thinking about this today, that we're 70% water, or perhaps even more. And the way that, if we're mostly water, then if you look at Masaru Emoto's work around water and the molecular structure, then the words that we say, the thoughts that we think, the actions that we take, they all matter in our recovery journey. So let's not overcomplicate things. Just be nice to yourself and do good things, and good things will tend to happen to you.
So great. I love that. I just have a question. As far as for stroke survivors, is there something that you can provide us based off your experience that can help improve our brain health?
Yeah, so the number one thing that I think a stroke survivor should understand is that the brain the brain can rewire itself. So think of, you have A and B. So but here's brain cell A and brain cell B, and they communicate with each other. So what happened was like a train wreck in between that. But the brain could find a way to make that new path and send that new signal. So one of the best things that people can do to help them is to move, like to move their body. And so like maybe perhaps bilateral movement of their hands, like just if simple brain gym exercises, for example, like thumb pinky, pinky thumb, like something nice and slow, or even just waving your finger, that's movement. So simple exercises like that can create a ripple effect in a positive way, activating the motor cortex of the brain and stimulating it, and causing those new pathways to rewire.
Oh, big time. Your content, I followed some of your exercises and they really help. At first, it was really difficult, but as I do it more and more, it really does help. It's like exercise for the brain. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel it
yeah,
working in there.
totally. Yeah, I mean that exercise, it's tough is good. So obviously we don't want to push ourselves too hard, but tough means what we're growing. Um, so before we end this, I demand that I want to know more about your stories. So let's
Okay,
take some
yeah.
time for that.
All right, all right. I'll keep that in mind. You know what? As far as your story, could you provide us or share with us the time when you were at your darkest point and, what you did to overcome that challenge? Yeah.
Sure. So kind of rock bottom for me really was 12 years ago. I was outside of a nightclub in my hometown, and I got in a fight with a bouncer out in the middle of the street. And he knocked me out so hard that I was unconscious for over 5 minutes. Woke up in the hospital. I don't remember 2 months from that time, but let's fast forward a couple years after the accident. I had a brain leak, what they call a cavernous malformation in my left frontal lobe. And that was causing me to have grand mal seizures, about three seizures a month. And so I was in a really low, dark point. I had chronic neuropathy in both of my forearms. And luckily, luckily, I discovered the power of neuroplasticity from some of my mentors, Dr. Dispenza, John Assaraf, Bruce
Love
Lipton,
that guy.
some of these wonderful people that have been guiding lights for me in my journey. And once I learned how the brain works, what's going on, why, then the how becomes easier, in my opinion. So if you have that foundational knowledge, the what, the why, and the how becomes so much easier to heal yourself. And so I feel very fortunate that every day is still a challenge, of course, but life is about growth.
Yeah, big time. I feel like I kind of, in ways, I tried the traditional stuff and it helped a lot. But I think until I took things into my own hands, I felt like I saw the most improvements, and things continue to change, as I'm pushing myself and trying new things. But yeah, I relate a lot to your story. And, I'm glad that you discovered that. And you've done amazing things. So there's so much respect.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, likewise. I mean, you're sharp. You're very sharp, and you have great content, and I love it. Hope for hope, right? Because
Yeah.
doctors told me it was hopeless, basically. So
Yeah.
without hope, you have nothing. So like, you know what I mean? I really appreciate that hope for stroke survivors.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, it just came to me one day, and I didn't mean it to get to this point, but I'm glad. I think hope is a big one, and we all need that. Especially in recovery, because sometimes you lose hope in your recovery journey. So yeah, definitely. I'm glad you connect. I think a lot of different traumas and brain injuries. Yeah, we all relate in ways. So we have similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it's a little loud here. Yeah.
No, I mean we're totally we're more alike than we are different, and people don't stop to think about that. But yeah, I would love to know like your journey. Like what has that experience been like for you?
Oh, yeah, I guess in the beginning I didn't know anything about a stroke. Neither did my family, and so it got us definitely by surprise. And I had spoken in another live, but we weren't able to determine the cause. There was no pre-existing conditions. But I think that's the unfortunate part. But I just know there's things that I can control and things I can't. So I try to focus on what I can control to improve myself, and I am getting better, and so I just continue to challenge myself. And I think connecting
That's
with people like this and giving people the message of hope is my purpose.
exactly, yeah. I mean, sometimes your pain turns into your purpose.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, pain is a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it's
so
been a journey, and I'm just figuring it out. I think it's nice to have you on. I really appreciate your time and jumping on. Yeah, it's pretty cool how much people you've impacted as well. To see that. Oh, it's kind of glitchy, I think.
it,
Yeah.
it seems clear now on my end.
Okay, good, good.
There's a few questions. Siddharth Savani says, I was diagnosed with learning disabilities, dyslexia, and others. He says, are these lifelong or can they be cured? So that's to me, that's a really good question. Um, that I just want you more to know than anything else that there's lots of people with this dyslexia that are extremely intelligent, and they've actually see the world in a different way. So dyslexia doesn't have to be your limiting thing. It can actually be something amazing that many successful entrepreneurs are dyslexic. Um, and you can always improve. You can always improve and rewire things. So the question is, are they lifelong or can they be cured? Well, you can always improve. I don't like the word cure, but I think they can always be improved. And this, I'll let you answer this one. Is it possible to recover from paralysis? You can perhaps answer that.
Yeah, I do feel it is possible to recover. I mean, I've got full function of before I was partially paralyzed, but I do have full function. I mean, there's things that I think that, that aren't the same as before, but you can recover. Depending on, I mean, it's complicated, but I do believe you can bring it back to, almost 100%. I'm hoping I can hit that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with the right things, yeah, you definitely can improve. You can act like it's normal again.
Hmm. Well, what are some of the things that like you kind of learned that worked really well for you in your recovery journey?
You know what? I've learned that I think pushing it and like just trying stretching it. I think resistance training, working it out is good. It's not always about the weight, but I think the form and just like really feeling the motion. I think that's what has helped me a lot. Yeah, I'll have to like. I was thinking because I did have some mild aphasia, so sometimes it's easier for me to like write something down, and I can put a lot more thought and be more thorough. But I definitely would in the future would like to put some more information down so people can benefit from that.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And I think I would love to have you on my podcast, which is all about neurorehabilitation. So I think like it would be a really cool episode that you could share your story of hope with everybody. We could go deeper, perhaps like 45 minutes call if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, no, definitely we could talk about that. Yeah, I would. I'd be honored to be on. I
Yeah.
think yeah, I was kind of focused so much on my recovery that now it's nice to give back like that, and I think people could benefit from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, keep going on with your mission because so many people could use the help. Like, I mean, quite honestly, there's not a lot of hopeful information out there for some people. Um, and I think that the world needs more of this. And there's a few other questions. This lady says, I had two strokes in 2017 when I was 47. And I had I can't even pronounce that exactly, for Lupus syndrome. I'm in recovery, right side paralysis. I can walk with a cane. What advice
Oh,
could you give to her?
uh, I think your body does need a lot of time to heal, recover, and make sure you're getting enough rest and eat, not just for the taste of it, but also for nutrition as well.
Yeah, very, very important. Um, and it says this other guy, Samir says, Sir, is there any PT management for central post stroke pain? And will it subside with time? Um, so I don't have a lot of expertise in this area, so I'm going to leave that to you as well.
Yeah, I think for central post stroke pain, I think it does fluctuate with the temperatures, weather, and different things. But I think as far as pain, it does subside after time. I don't know how it is for everybody, so I don't want to speak exactly to that because I'm not professional at that. Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. I had acquired ataxia. My cerebellum is damaged, but no progressive thing is happening. Do you suggest something? I see physio every day in brain gym. Progress is slow. I actually can speak upon this because I have worked with people who have had progressive severe cerebellar ataxia. Um, but luckily, as you said, that yours is not progressive. So the cerebellum is an incredible area of the brain, and it's responsible for, I call it the ABCs: accuracy, balance, and coordination. And so one amazing things you can do is like go to dance class. Dance class is one of the best things you can do to stimulate your cerebellum, because it's like coordinated movement. So you can do that. The brain gym stuff is going to be helpful, like very rapid movements and stuff like that. Um, but coordinated movements is what it's all about, and balanced movements as well. So that's how you can directly stimulate the cerebellum. Um, and know that the cerebellum is also very tied into our vestibular system as well. And so when you stimulate the vestibular system, you stimulate the cerebellum here as well. So I like to geek out
Oh,
about this stuff.
hey, I like that. You know, I actually had a cerebellar stroke.
Did you
So
really?
yeah, I did. So yeah, that's right up my alley. And I think originally it was a lot different, but yeah, those things, those exercises you share is right on with me. It's in line with me. So I believe in that. That's great.
Totally, yeah. I mean, it's an incredible area because it's so dense. There's 70% of our neurons are in this little area. It's incredible how that area is incredible. So I definitely recommend stimulating it, and just know that like exercises stimulate all of the areas, but they do target certain areas. So like it's kind of like your toes have a different function than your fingers. It's the same thing
Yeah.
with the brain. They have different functions, but they all work together at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, well,
Um,
you know, they removed part of my cerebellum, and then if I can come back, you know, definitely you guys can do it too. But you know
dude,
what?
heck yeah.
I did want to say that make sure you check out Dr. Brody Miller's page. He has a ton of good content up there. He has this amazing book. I just got it. But yeah, check it out. But yeah,
Yeah,
Dr. Brody, you
so
want to?
I got Brain Rescue. So it's a 90-day blueprint to reclaim your memory after a brain injury or concussion. And quite honestly, I think strokes are brain injuries. So there's a lot of applicable stuff that people can do. I go into my own story and just all of the steps that you can take and try to put them all together in your recovery. It's only at 99 cents on Amazon right now on
Hey,
Kindle.
99 cents, guys.
So you gotta find 4 quarters right now. Like
Yeah. Hey, that's why I jumped on it. But yeah, I have something exciting to read. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, Dr. Brody Miller. Yeah, and the
totally.
information you shared. Yeah, we'll definitely link up. I got your information. But guys, thank you for your time as well, and hope you learned a lot. Um, yeah, you guys have any other? You have any other last minute things, Dr. Brody?
Well, there is one question that says I have a lot of brain fog. What can I do? So, ironically, I'm running a webinar about how to reduce brain fog on February the 17th, a free workshop. So if you want to come in and I'll talk, it's about an hour long. You just come in the link in my bio and sign up for that workshop. Yeah, it's definitely possible to reduce brain fog. Anywho, uh, thank you again. It's been an awesome here, and I love what you do.
Thank
So
you so much. Yeah, I love what you do as well. But thanks, Dr. Brody Miller. Have a good day, huh?
thank you. You
All right,
too. Have a
take
great
care.
one.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. Bye.